last September in the Philadelphia Inquirer that was very concerning. And I'll read the first paragraph from Susan Snyder's article. It said, still under scrutiny by the Federal Education Department for mismanagement of millions in financial aid, Cheney University is facing fresher allegations of misspending, this time lodged by the former leaders of its vaunted Honors Academy. Governor is pledging to repay Cheney's debt obligations through capital funding. However, a 2016 audit found that Cheney plugged a budget hole with $3 million that was originally intended for scholarship funding and research funding. I think Ms. Snyder's article said that these funds were, and I quote, raided. So in this budget, you're requesting another $5 million for Cheney's Keystone Academy, the very fund that was misappropriated. As a member of FIA's board of directors, alongside with senators who are sitting here in this Appropriations Committee, Senators Blake, Haywood, Hughes, and Scavello, who are all committed to how we best address the student loan crisis, what can you say that will convince us that this is a wise investment, knowing that there was past abuse of these funds? How can we assure that students are getting that money?
Yeah. So a couple things, and it's detail, but I think it's an important one, is that the request for additional Keystone dollars did not come from the state system. It's like the Pennsylvania, like the...
And I understand that, but it was the state system that misappropriated those funds.
No, I understand that, but I just wanted to be clear on that point. But more importantly, to your point, I have no evidence that there is any wrongdoing under the current administration. That case is still obviously pending.
And I understand that, but what I want to make sure is that when dollars are sent to students, that those students get the benefit of those dollars, that they aren't used by the university for something other than they were originally intended.
I think I certainly am assured that that is the case. And just in terms of impact of those dollars, this year, for the first time, we've seen Cheney's first to second term retention. This is a jump. Students who come back for the second term after the first term jump from 36% to 70%. That's unheard of.
And that's very good. And certainly I would like to see going forward that no student scholarship monies go for anything other than student scholarships. Now, if I can follow up on Senator Mensch's conversation with you with regard to the RAND Commission report. As I recall, of those 5 possible options that were put forward by the RAND report, not a single one referenced a university closure. So I think we have to set that straight. But what I do recall is that there's an ongoing theme of red tape that the system and you as chancellor are bound by, from which you need to be freed. So all 5 of those options said that there were bureaucratic red tape challenges, and if I look at exactly what it said, it talked about internal factors, governance that's reportedly bureaucratic and placed politics above system needs, inflexible labor relations, state regulations that slow down procurement and construction, purchasing of services, improvement of facilities. Have you looked at that component of the RAND report? What is it that you've identified that you need, and how can the General Assembly assist you in reducing that regulatory red tape? We are in the process of looking at passing a number of regulatory reforms.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. We spent most of our time on those recommendations. Critical amongst them were resetting our relationships, frankly, with our faculty union. It's a work in progress, but I'm very proud of the progress that we've made. They show up in any number of ways. I think that's been critical. We've reset our relationships with our councils of trustees by engaging them more effectively in the work of the universities and the system. I'm very proud of that work as well. We have, in the House Bill 2171, 2, and 3, we have sought regulatory relief, which will eliminate that red tape, giving the board the authority it needs to move quicker in response to really challenging financial circumstances that you've already identified, but also to allow us to use non-public money in a way which is not regulated as in the same way that public funds are. That slow things down and frankly cost us money. 75% of our dollars don't come from the state, and we use them as if they do. And we reckon it probably costs us 25 to 30% more on any contract rewrite, costs that ultimately redound to the students. So those bills contain our ask in that department.